Oh my goodness, we're gonna have some fun here.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
go.
even know where to get started. Like,
Just wing it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we enjoyed each other's company like the minute we met.
Absolutely.
You have an incredible heart, and you're just fun, and you got all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Likewise. The YMCA, Greg Coleman Celebrity Golf Tournament, wasn't it?
Sana Foundation.
Santa Foundation, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to
So-
Tony.
Yeah, right.
What up, Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and I feel like we were supposed to meet. It's just really cool. And
You've supported YouthLink. Thank you. We love you.
Well, YouthLink is an organization that I followed forever, and I've been drawn to it. So
Sure.
I've always was super curious about it, and I feel like I've done a lot of work with youth and that struggle, and especially in that age group. And I've just been always fascinated by YouthLink, and then I get to meet you, and you're running YouthLink,
I know. So
and
lucky.
you gave me a tour, and I have to say it's 100 times better than I even could have envisioned.
I know, right?
It's
know.
the most magical place. Like, I just wanted to
Thank
move
you.
in and do
It's
more.
warm and welcoming.
It is. It's such a gift to the city.
No, that means a lot. Like, people think of youth homelessness, right? And it has this dark tone around it. And it is. It's a dark phenomenon, but we're bringing a lot of light into people's lives that need it the most. And they need that surrounding. They need that sound infrastructure to be visually appealing and pretty and warm and safe and all the things.
And no judgment,
Yeah,
and
none.
all the services.
No.
Like, our lives are super complicated, and I kind of feel like when you land there, you can figure out which issues you need to deal with first, and there's resources for every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Food,
Basic
I think you
needs.
said, the basic needs, the food and the sleep and the safe place to just be.
Well, yeah, when you're homeless, you want to go into a space and maybe not have everything thrown at you at once. So people can come in and differentiate between like getting fed, taking a nap, just chilling and getting out of the street, right? And I think it's nice that we have case managers there that can, tailor an experience and a pathway for them to get housed at their own speed, without pressure, without, judgment of any kind whatsoever. Yeah. It's a vibe, isn't it?
It's
is.
a pretty incredible place.
We're really grateful.
So let's just talk YouthLink first, because
Sure.
I also want to get to know kind of how you got there. But where did YouthLink get started?
So YouthLink was actually an idea by the city of Minneapolis years ago. It's been around for about 50 years. It's went through multiple transitions, right? It's had multiple names, but as of late, YouthLink has been kind of the centralized location for services for young people experiencing homelessness right in downtown Minneapolis. And it's different from like a shelter, right? A shelter, you think of bedding, you think of overnight. We are open during working hours every day of the week, where young people can come in to a safe space in the drop-in center and ultimately get whatever they need to be successful and become independent in their lives. Mental health, housing, food. I mean, the whole, whatever a young person is going through, if they need educational resources, jobs, vocation, we have it. We have it, top to bottom.
What surprised you the most about that population?
So, like, I was with the YMCA of the North before going to YouthLink.
That's right.
And I was very grateful. A selection committee came to me and said, hey, you want to run YouthLink? And my first question was, like, what the hell is YouthLink? I'd never heard of it. And I'm from Minneapolis. Like, I grew up in that neighborhood. And after kind of doing my own exploring and understanding the population they served, young people experiencing homelessness, 16 to 24, I thought, whoa, this is my wheelhouse. I've always worked with young people. I've always coached. I've always worked in youth development. And it was just a really natural, like, aha moment for me to say, yeah, let's maybe accept this challenge and see if I can do some good here in my own backyard as a senior leader, and it's been a wild journey.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest aha moment was the manner in which young people come to YouthLink. There's no rhyme or reason, right?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
like,
some people come there because they don't agree with their parents and they want to be independent. Some people are battling addiction. Some people are, have criminal records and they can't get home. I mean, it's endless. There's the trafficking conversation. A lot of the young people we serve have been trafficked, right?
It's just so hard for me to even.
It's unbelievable.
Believe. I mean, because it's literally like 5 minutes from here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and it's really sad, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel once they get to YouthLink and they see that there's other people like them. There's people like us who care about them, who go where we say we're going to go, and we do what we say we're going to do with our resources and with our services, and it's really hard work, but it's very rewarding.
Well, and it's really hard work because there's not a straight path to life for any of us, right? And
theirs is already clunky.
Right, and theirs has multiple layers of challenges, and so, you think that there's progress being made, and then there's setbacks.
And just like us.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just have more resources to kind of handle those setbacks, and they just don't. Emotionally, physically, financially, all of the
Isn't that the
people
truth?
stuff. Yeah. So life's a journey, and it's got to be challenging to support those kids, and because sometimes I feel like if you just did what I told you to do, you would be fine.
Yeah, no, they it's like my kids, for example. Like you could tell my kids the same thing I've been telling them. They're going to listen to you, and vice versa, right?
Yeah, right.
For some reason.
Totally.
So they're all technically kind of our kids, I mean, and they're not children, right? These are young adults.
Yeah, right.
That have an opportunity to mitigate something before it's too late. Because once you pass that 20, 21, to 24-year-old threshold and you're homeless, there's a really good likelihood you'll continue to be throughout the rest of your life.
Really, yeah.
So to knock it out when they're young, to really get in front of it and provide, resources that most people, particularly people of color, don't usually have is super cool. It's super unique.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, how did you get there? So you grew up in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I grew up in Minneapolis. Yep, South Side. Let's go.
Yeah.
I live over north now.
Okay.
So I've been over there about 7 years, and Shanika, my girl Shanika, who works very closely with me, good friend of mine, she said I had to be in North Minneapolis for 7 years before I could claim North Minneapolis. So now I'm both.
Okay,
so
all right.
I'm on both sides. Both sides of the map there. It's a big deal.
Okay.
But I got to YouthLink by way of the YMCA, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
I was at the YMCA for years. I started there as a sports director shortly after I retired from playing basketball professionally for about 10 years.
Okay.
And as a sports director there, I just quickly learned programming, right? I learned how to put on a good program for young people, put on a good program for families, and I quickly started to kind of gravitate towards operations and maybe the bigger operating scheme of things in terms of programs and just running a business.
Yeah.
I had some really great leaders there that poured into me, right? Glenn Gunderson, the CEO there, my girl Mary Britz. I mean, the whole leadership team at the YMCA really poured into me. And I think that was something I could take with me to YouthLink, was pouring into others. So that was kind of how I transitioned to YouthLink and got the opportunity there. And hopefully I'm doing right by that kind of mentorship and guidance. But yeah, man, we're breathing life into young people. Our staff is all, in this work with me. Our staff have all been there. My leadership team has been together for 4 years straight. Wow. So we all came into this thing together and we've stayed. We've had no turnover in that sense, which is, I think, a really rich experience to have when the work is so hard. And in this sector, it's very uncommon.
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, our case managers stay for, I think, a lot longer than they would in most sectors because we take care of our people,
Okay, so when did you first pick up a basketball?
Oh, Lord, we're going there. Hoops. I was kind of a late bloomer. Like I was a basketball player my whole life, but I think I first picked up a basketball when I was probably like 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah, 10, 11 years old.
Did you play other sports before
Yeah,
that?
I played football and baseball. My mom even had me play hockey when I was in like kindergarten for a couple years. And I was crushing it, and it was too expensive. And she was like, nah, dude, we're going to stick with this basketball thing. So, but I wonder and look back what kind of hockey player I could have been. Because I was all right.
Well, your size,
I was all right, man. I could skate. Yeah.
Player.
A lot of brothers weren't skating back in the day in Minneapolis, But my mom always kept me, open to new sports and experiences. I skateboarded, I snowboarded, I played basketball. Like, I tried to do everything at some point.
So how did you kind of settle into basketball?
So I think it just became a real passion of mine. In high school, I grew a lot, right? So I kind of fell away from football and baseball, and I gravitated towards hoops. And my cousins.
How tall are you?
Right now, I'm like 6'9", but I've shrunk. I've shrunk. I just had a physical, and my therapist said I was getting larger and shrinking. So, yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, it does.
I'm very familiar.
But no, man, I think we used to go to different neighborhoods, and like my friends and my cousins would put me up against the best player in other neighborhoods.
Really?
And this started to become a thing, and through that I started to like really get competitive and kind of found my way into college. And
where'd you go to school?
River Falls, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Moo River Falls, Wisconsin. I had a long journey though, right? Because in high school, I actually ended up getting expelled from school my junior year of high school.
And what school was that?
Washburn.
Okay.
And, all my Millers out there that were in my class, they know what I'm talking about. But it actually led me on a path to move out to River Falls, Wisconsin, where my aunt and uncle lived with my cousins, and I got a second chance. And I just started really taking advantage of that opportunity. Can I ask what you
did to get expelled?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But you won't answer.
Ultimately, it was kind of a wrong place, wrong time.
Okay.
Right? I was around some people I shouldn't have been around. And I was, guilty by association.
Okay.
And I was on the B honor roll at the time. Like, I wasn't a bad egg or nothing. I was just being a knucklehead,
So do you think it was a benefit for you to like leave the city
absolutely.
Did that like save
my life?
Save your life.
And long story short, my aunt and uncle owned Best Made Cookie Company.
Okay.
If you've ever been to SA or Quick Trip in the Twin Cities, they're the ones at the register.
Okay.
And they moved their company out to River Falls, which is about an hour from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And getting me out of the city, allowing me to go back to high school and just to fly straight and pursue my dreams. I was like the Fresh Prince of River Falls, right? I told you this, right? I moved out there with my aunt and uncle. My cousin Terry would be Carlton. Like, for real, I was the carbon copy of the Fresh Prince of River Falls.
Oh my gosh.
And the rest was history, man. I started really taking my craft seriously in basketball. I had a great coach, Rick Bowen, who was just on my ass about everything all the time. And at the time, it sucked, and I didn't know why this dude was so hard on me. But he really believed in me, and he breathed life into me and really taught me, that there was more inside of me that I didn't even know was there to discover.
Wow.
And it got me through college, and then all of a sudden, like, NBA scouts started showing up at my games. And I went on to, play in the NBA on and off for a couple years, and then bounce around Europe for, 9 years or something like that, right?
Wow.
So, wild journey.
You can make a living going to Europe and playing basketball. Isn't
Yeah,
that a cool
absolutely.
thing?
It's why I would have never known as a kid.
Right.
Right? Like, Wisconsin was as far as I'd been up and through college.
Yeah.
But Europe was amazing, right? I was in France, I was in Germany, I was in Spain. I got to travel to all these places and live there, right? Like, I wasn't on a resort, or I wasn't on some, hotel. I incubated myself in the cities that I lived. I taught myself the languages phonetically, and not knowing it at the time or by design, but later on, it's paid huge dividends in my life as a leader, being able to cross-communicate, cross-culturally, socially, whatever it is. Like, I can find a vibe with whoever, whenever, anytime. And I think it came from those experiences traveling the world,
Wow.
Yeah. Fun.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, there's just a couple of like those key moments in your life that has just really kind of transpired.
Sure. Getting expelled was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the best thing that ever
going
happened
from
to you.
Minneapolis to River Falls. I'm the only brother in River Falls besides my cousin, so culture shock was very real.
Yeah.
And I'm beige, I'm like a transition, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was still a huge culture shock.
Sure.
And
between being in the city and then small town.
But you know what else in hindsight I thought about was, having that lens on me. People knew I was a basketball player in the city, and I had missed a couple opportunities, so there was like a lens on me. And at that time, the community and the school and the staff I just had a lot of support. I had a lot of people around me that wanted to see me do well.
Yeah.
This kid from the city was out here tripping and doing Lord knows what, and now I'm planted in Wisconsin. Like, I had to make the most of that opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? And
was your mom the one that made that happen?
My mom and my Aunt Susan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my Uncle Ron.
Okay.
Right? They all had skin in the game. You know.
Did you have siblings?
I have a little brother,
Okay.
yeah, but we grew up in separate households.
Okay.
But my cousins and I, Isaac, Olivia, and Terry out in River Falls, we were very close
Okay.
our whole lives. We beat each other up. We, ran around in our diapers when we were little. Like, we were family.
Okay.
And I think when they moved out to River Falls, I also lost a sense of myself because, I didn't see them as much either.
Interesting.
So we were very close. I was very lucky. I'm a very lucky young man
Yeah.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of the lucky ones.
Well, and created to do great things, which you're doing.
It took a lot of help. It
Yeah.
takes a village.
Yeah. So so you were at the Y you worked your way from sports and
Yeah.
is sports still a really important part of your life?
Absolutely. Like, I tell people all the time, my guys at work, they all give me crap about being a CEO and all this stuff. Like, but the stuff I use today is all stuff I learned playing basketball.
Yeah.
When to lead, when to step back, how to take direction, how to lose. Like, it took a lot of losses to be here today.
Yeah.
Right? So those are all things I learned in sports.
Yeah.
Those are all things I learned shooting hoops.
Yeah.
That I've carried through in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, how's the city changed since you were a youngster?
Well, it seems...
What's the same? Because I think some things are the same, right?
I love Minneapolis.
Okay.
Like, I'm super biased. When I retired from basketball, my family and I were either going to live here, Germany, or Denver. I had a job opportunity in Germany. I had one in Denver, and ultimately we chose home because it's Minneapolis, man. It's great. All 4 seasons. I think what's changed is it seems like the sides of the city have kind of swapped, where South Minneapolis was historically considered to be pretty safe and, pretty blue-collar, modest living, and now it's getting this scrutiny about being unsafe and violent, and North Side is actually growing, and there's home ownership is growing in North Minneapolis, and the crime in North Minneapolis has actually gone way down and plummeted since, like, the George Floyd thing, and I think that's the biggest transition I've seen.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of peculiar, but other than that, man, I love this city. Like, this city can do no wrong to me. The suburbs, like, I love Minnesota. I love this area.
Yeah.
I love the Twin Cities. It's been good to me. I've raised the family here. What else? What do you think's changed? Do you think anything's changed?
I mean, obviously, we don't want to get political. I mean, there's some of that, that's a challenge, I think. And I think part of that is because and this is going to be me on my soapbox, but I think that sometimes good intentions have the opposite effect.
Sure.
So I think if you're not really informed about if you want to, I mean, you see this because you try to help people, right? But if you help people in the wrong way, you can hurt them.
Absolutely.
And I think
it's called enabling.
I think that the policies that are coming out, especially out of the city and what have you, I think they're good intentions. I don't think people mean to do mean things. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. But I think that when you don't help people help themselves and you tell somebody the way that they're succeeding in life is wrong or needs to be punished in order to help someone who's maybe not making the best decisions or isn't empowered to make those decisions. We need to empower people to help themselves and help them
That's a good
find
point.
fulfillment within versus giving them things.
Man, you are speaking it like it is. I'm telling you. I mean, even at YouthLink, like, we're serving young people experiencing homelessness, the most challenging circumstances a young person can go through. But at the same time, we're asking and putting a lot of ownership on them.
Yeah.
Like, YouthLink's not holding hands. We're walking alongside of people that need it the most, but you have to come to play. Like, and when you're here, you have to respect our staff. You have to. We don't have security at YouthLink.
I know. I think that's incredible.
Right? No, because the young people there, they know, like, if it comes down to it and you're not able to help us help you, you got to move around. You can't be here because we have a job to do. We have other people to worry about, and we're trying to put in good building blocks so that, when you're not here and you're somewhere else, you're carrying yourself the same way you're expected to carry yourself here, which is kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, the way that you can help people is by encouraging them and showing them, like lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink, but you got to be able to lead them or help them and support them, encourage them, be there when they fall.
Yep.
I mean, because we all fall, right?
Definitely.
And just say, okay, what do we learn from this? And then kind of move on. But just giving people stuff
No, that's not the way.
Doesn't fix anything.
No, they have no skin in the game.
Yeah.
They have no skin in the game. You got to have skin in the game.
And you got to have boundaries. I mean, these are the rules. When you tell your kids this is the rule and you move that rule, that makes them insecure.
Yeah, seriously.
We just got to follow through with consequences.
One of the other things I think that changed about the cities, or maybe not that changed, just something I've seen. I had a relative say this to me the other day, and they go, "Oh, I'm not going downtown. It's frightening. It's terrifying down there." It's like, oh Lord. I'm biased, but it's hyperbole.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's never been out of their own neighborhood that's villainizing this robust place that's growing again.
Yeah.
Like, people are working downtown. I'm on the Minneapolis Workforce Development Board, and there are great things happening downtown that, unfortunately people wouldn't know about it unless they saw an advertisement. But for those of them out there with doubt, take it from me. Go and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
It's robust. It's a vibe downtown right now. Timberwolves, hockey in downtown St. Paul, concerts everywhere. Like it's a place that's coming back, I think.
Yeah.
At least for me, that's what I feel. So.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you love
And if anybody wants to come, I'll chaperone them.
Yeah.
You know this.
Well, right.
Take me up on it.
I take you as a
Let's
chaperone.
Go. I'll go with.
That works.
We'll go get breakfast or something, whatever.
Yeah.
I want to dispel some of that narrative.
I mean, it's a great city.
It is. It is. It is.
What are YouthLink's biggest challenges right now?
I think the scrutiny around fraud around nonprofits makes donors a little sketchy and a little more cautious about giving.
Yeah.
I think that's a challenge a lot of organizations like mine are going to have to face, right? And I think we know that people are out there. Some people are doing some really bad things with funds and
especially
services.
Government money.
It's too bad,
crazy.
Right? And I think if we pulled the blanket back, we'd find out it was happening in other places in business too. But I think what people are misinformed about is the actual processes that organizations like mine have to go through just to submit a request for funds. I mean, it's a rigorous, detailed, forensic, almost submission of historical data and credible information that you need to have just to ask for money. So yes, there are people out there that are doing really bad things.
Yeah.
And fortunately now they're getting called out for it, but there are also a ton of organizations like YouthLink that have no skin in that game,
right.
That have really healthy finance practices, that have really great oversight from a board of directors, Hennepin County, the Department of Human Services. I mean, just tons of organizations that pour into every dollar and every evaluation we do. I think that's going to be one of the biggest challenges coming forward. But with that said, I think there's also going to be more support. People know there's organizations like ours that you don't have to bat an eye at or question.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think people can see what organizations are demonstrating if they know where to look.
And I think anyone who is interested in this should take a tour. I mean, I feel like
we love guests.
There's just seeing it is to believe it.
Oh,
I mean,
you.
I can't even imagine what kind of resources it takes to do what you guys do.
Well, imagine if people knew, right? It's like when I first got to YouthLink 4 years ago, the first thing I thought when the selection committee came was, what's YouthLink, right?
Yeah.
And then as I got there, I realized nobody knew we were there. And YouthLink had been doing this fantastic work under, Dr. Heather and every regime before that for years, but there wasn't a ton of visibility because it's youth homelessness. Mm-hmm. And it has this kind of it's youth homelessness, I don't know if I want to talk about that. But when you come there and you see the work, it's mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. And I think we don't want to be political, right? But one thing I like about YouthLink is we get money from everybody, because no matter where you sit, what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what color you are, no matter where you're from, we all have somebody in our family who's struggling with something.
Right.
We serve them. So that's just a binding fabric, I think, that's really sexy and fun and, brings people together, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is next for YouthLink?
So we just we just delivered our 2030 vision, right? Our 5-year strategic plan. Getting to that plan, we realized we have a really strong sense of what we're doing.
Okay.
Right? Programmatically, we know that our program infrastructure works. We know that we have a really sound model of service. We know that we have kind of a formula for success in this space. So ultimately, we're not going to be reinventing the wheel. We're going to be continuing to strengthen our programs in terms of educational components and those other resources that come after the basic needs, right? Vocational opportunities. We just want to provide whatever we can for young people so that they have a plethora of options to be successful, right? We have a couple job opportunities. We have one with Accenture that's really unique, where young people can go through these modules of career development and training, but we also have Hired in our building, right? So if one doesn't work for maybe their skill set or where they're at in life, they can use another. But we want to keep providing multiple resources so that they have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, because everyone's so different.
Definitely.
And what works and what
Definitely
connects and what makes it all.
Ultimately, we got to raise more money.
Yeah.
Right? The need's grown. I think in the last 4 years, we've managed to reduce our cost per client every year, which we're really proud of. But we've kind of hit the ceiling on what we're able to do with the resources we have right now. So it'd be nice to get some people that really cared about this work and really understood the value and the depth that we bring to the city of Minneapolis and its residents, and saying, hey, let's give us some space to innovate and to see where else we can place YouthLink. Where's YouthLink 2.0?
Yeah.
YouthLink could and should be in every community in the United States.
I was going to ask you that. Is it?
It's a really great formula.
Yeah. Are there other similar programs?
Yeah, of course. There's other like-minded drop-in centers and organizations, and I think they all do fantastic work in their own right? But we have a model that has categorically demonstrated we're good for everybody, from the recipients of our services to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, and that's a message we're going to try and really hard to keep getting out there.
Sure.
In the next year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
you for asking, by the way. That was a brilliant question. I love talking about that.
What is your future?
My future?
Yes. I feel like you're such an amazing leader. And, I think that a lot of sports celebrities, for lack of a better...
D-list celebrities?
No. But I think sports is a really... all the things you already mentioned. It really provides you with a great skill set for leading people.
For sure.
If you can, be a part of a team and, you coach and you all this kind of stuff. But that translates to so many different parts of life. And
this is all hoops. It's all basketball stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But for me, I think, I love being at YouthLink. I love the team and the culture that we've established there. Mm-hmm. I love working closely with the city. So I see myself here for a while. There's still work to do.
Yeah.
There's definitely still work to do. There's still some ground to cover. There's still some small dreams and ambitions I think our team and our board has.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, YouthLink provides me a space where I can also still, be around my kids' games and coach basketball. And we'll see. But there's definitely something around the horizon. I'm competitive, right? And I think what the continuum of and the words of fraud going around have really revved something up in me to dispel that. Right? I got into this as an executive early on when I was with the Y in here because I saw a lot of executives that were coasting. And, that's not my style. That's just not, and I'm not tooting my horn, but I think there's more in the tank. I think there's more in the tank somewhere to do really great things. And I want to make sure people know there's people like me and my peers and the ones who are leading this work that that want to dispel some of those nasty narratives and shine a light on all the good that's being done. So wherever that takes me, I'm with it.
Do you feel like it's full circle? I mean, you're a kid that grew up in Minneapolis. Things could have gone a different direction because you probably were hanging out with some, or admittedly were hanging out with some of the wrong crowd, and now you get to really make a difference in other kids' lives.
Full circle for sure.
It's just
for sure.
But you have a clear understanding of that. I mean, you grew up, with challenges, and then you can relate on so many levels.
And I have lived experience, right? Like I was homeless for some of that time when I was younger.
Really?
I was homeless in college. Like I slept in my locker room for months, and
really,
yeah. At one point in college, my junior year, I didn't have a place, and I was lucky enough to make a relationship with the janitor at the time, and he'd let me in the building at night.
You're kidding.
And it was at this point where I would have nothing to do for the night, so I would watch film. I would watch videos of my games, and my game just started to erupt. And I started having NBA scouts at my games, and it was because I was watching film every night, so that when the game came, I had already been through this situation before. But what I'm saying is good things have come out of these spaces, right? Like, just,
wow.
You never know.
And do you get to share that information with these kids?
It's weird. I just started talking about this like publicly recently, and it was only by somebody asked me a question, and it just jogged in my memory, right? But yeah, I do. I try to share that with young people for sure, that I've been there.
Right.
That we're alike. I know what you're going through.
Yeah,
I've been there, dude.
They don't believe you, do they? I mean, you're so
I
successful,
don't know. Yeah.
and you're, I don't know.
There's a ton of success stories coming out of this place.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Like mine.
Yeah.
And there's more to come.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to come. We have Voices of Youth Advisory Council,
okay,
which are all young people. I got to give a shout out to Voyac real quick. But these are all young people that have lived experience with homelessness, who have transitioned to become professionals. And they're now on our Voices of Youth Advisory Council, who ultimately lead and steer the organization in terms of policies and procedures. And it's like, these are my bosses. My bosses are young people who've had lived experience, who can say, hey, here's where YouthLink is really knocking it out of the park, Rich. Over here is where we got to do some work. And we take that information, we bring it to the board, and we put it into our strategic planning and into our everyday output all the time. So, yeah.
Wow.
More to come.
Wow.
Fun stuff.
Well, your story is pretty deep.
It's all right, right? I mean, we all got a story, but thank you. Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible, from South Minneapolis to the basketball courts, making cookies.
All that.
All of that.
All that, man.
Yeah.
All that.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Yeah, thanks
today.
for letting me share. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. You're doing amazing things, and I'm a big fan.
Awesome. Well, I have a lot of help, but thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Rich.
Of course.